You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. It is grad season on Vancouver Island. It's a huge milestone for young people, and with that milestone usually comes a party or two. For hundreds of teens on Vancouver Island, unfortunately, that party will end in disaster. Today we are chatting with John Westhaver. He was in a brutal car crash 18 years ago, and now he works towards helping other teens avoid what happened to him. Also in the lineup, Island Chef, a trip to Port Alberni where some people there are very concerned about what's happening in the watersheds. We're heading down to Ladysmith for our continuing efforts in Fill the Food Banks 2012. Together is amazing. We have gold medalist Michelle Stilwell on the show today, and Kelly Robinson is here with more pet tales. Before we get to any of that, before we get to all of that though, we're going to check up with four guys who are rowing around Vancouver Island. Well, we did pay a little visit to the ornorthwest.com website. Looked like the guys have made it almost to the tip of Vancouver Island. They'll start working their way down the outside of Vancouver Island towards the Shaw Ocean Discovery Center. Don't know when they'll arrive there exactly. So much is dependent on the weather, and hopefully there'll be no more food problems for them. You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. Up next, Michelle Stilwell has found her way into the hearts of many Canadians. I think Dan Marshall is one of them. She's a gold Olympian for the Paralympics, and she's found some time to hang out with Dan at our studios in Nanaimo. Here now is Dan Marshall, Michelle Stilwell for Game On. You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. We're here now with John Westhaver. He was severely injured, as you can see, in an accident 18 years ago. And now on Vancouver Island, every year between April, May, and June, 240 youth are injured. 2 are killed. The crash that John was in, 3 people died. He was injured. And his mission now is to help other teens across the island, across the country, and across the continent to stay safe, to put it in a nutshell. Let's recap bad accident for you, obviously.
Yes, I was on a car crash 18 years ago. My friends and I decided to go on a road trip one night, and we had a sober driver. We thought we were safe. We were all in the vehicle drinking. The driver was sober. Long story short, the driver lost control of the car in a sharp corner. The car started to roll. The driver was thrown out and killed on impact. And the car crashed and exploded. And the 2 guys in the back seat, one being my best friend, was killed. Myself, I walked away from the crash with burns to 75% of my body and a broken arm. I was in the hospital initially for 2.5 months. I was in a coma for a month, and I've undergone between 30 and 40 surgeries over the last 18 years of my life.
And you seem like a happy guy. I've just met you a few minutes ago. John is smiling. He's here at Dover Bay Secondary School in Nanaimo to make a presentation, something John does across Canada and the United States and has been doing for the past 10 or so years. What are you trying to teach the kids? What are you trying to get home to them?
What I'm trying to teach them is just to think about your choices and to weigh the risks. What a lot of people don't realize is the consequences of poor decisions. And so I try to talk to the students about, when they get into a vehicle, think about the decisions you make. Are you wearing your seatbelt? Is your head clear enough to drive responsibly? It's not just alcohol, it's drugs, distractions, even your own emotions can affect you how you drive. So driving while impaired by any of these can have a huge repercussion. And also speeding as well, and wear your seatbelt, and just make the right choice when in a vehicle so that you don't have to go through what I've gone through over the last 18 years.
It's a hard thing to do because when you're in the moment, no matter how old you are, it is hard to take yourself out of that moment and put yourself in the future because emotions take over. And maybe therein lies the challenge.
Exactly, and we all get put in the situations where, we think it's easier to drive home. than to call a cab or wait for a bus or even call someone to come pick us up.
Or even wait 15 minutes to cool your head or whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, exactly. We all get put in situations where we think it's easier to stay quiet than to tell somebody they're driving too fast or reckless. These are the choices that have lasting repercussions. And if we can have people think about the decisions, it's not just youth, it's adults as well. If we can have people think about their decisions and their choices and the repercussions, then that will help curb your way of actions.
The statistics on Vancouver Island, I had a quick look before coming out here today, do look like they're going down, so perhaps the message is reaching the youth. We have lots more questions for John. We'll get to those later on this edition of The Daily. We're going to head up to Port Alberni now, where some citizens are quite concerned about some logging there and how it's going to affect their drinking water. But first, Fill the Food Banks 2012 Together is Amazing continues until May the 11th. Shaw and many partners that continue to come on board every day are trying to put food on the tables of more than 900,000 Canadian families who don't get enough to eat every day. We're going to check in with one recipient of Together is Amazing Fill the Food Banks in Ladysmith. Here's Dunya Tosi. You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. This is John Westhaver. He was in a crash 18 years ago. He now travels to schools across Canada and the U.S., teaching teens about making responsible choices. It goes way beyond drinking and driving. It's about life and about the things that we have to overcome as we live it. Nothing bigger to overcome perhaps than an accident that changes your life.
Yeah, it's definitely a life changer. I was born 18 years ago as a result of a car crash. As an 18-year-old guy, I was,
invincible.
Invincible. I didn't worry about my choices, but also I was a typical guy and liked the way that I looked and got used to the way I looked. And when the crash happened, the first time I saw my face, I was horrified. I just wanted to die. It didn't look like me. And
how long did it take you to become comfortable in your own skin?
It took me a while. At first, I didn't like the way I looked. I thought I was destroyed. I thought I was ugly. I thought, I thought I just wanted to die. But as time has gone on, I've learned to accept the way that I look. It may sound strange, but I love the way I look. I look different. I'm okay with that. Do
you think this happened, as cliche as it sounds, for a reason? That because of the way your mind is, that you're able to help others through something that could have and was unfortunate for you, but is it a good in the end?
Yes, it is.
People died, and that can't be good. But
yes, it's not good that my friends were killed in the crash. It's not good that I was burnt, but I'm happy in my life right now. It's changed my outlook on life. A lot of people ask, how do you live every day? Like, how do you survive? And I have a lot of support from my friends, my family, and the community that I grew up in and the community I live in now. And that love and support has given me the strength to continue living every day. So I think of myself as a product of my environment, and would I give up on my community and my family? No. So my family's not giving up on me. My community's not giving up on me. So I'm here, because of that love and support.
And you were burned to 75% of your body. We shook hands upon meeting, and I did notice. Does that stop you from doing some of the things that you wish you could do in life?
It does stop me to a certain point. There are some things that I can't do. Recently, for the first time since high school, I started playing baseball. I never played baseball in high school that much, but I started playing baseball with my wife, who said, well, how are you going to catch the ball? How are you going to throw the ball? Well, I have to wear a glove on the opposite hand, so I wear a glove on my right hand. I try and catch it best I can. I can't close the mitt, so I have to kind of catch it and twist it as I'm catching it. And my left hand seems perfectly fine, but my shoulder was dislocated in high school wrestling, so I can't really overhand throw, so I kind of got to throw really weakly, but I can still do it, so it's just adapting to what you have to work with.
You're an inspiration, John. Thank you. Very, very inspiring. Finally, if people want to find out more about all the different things you're involved in, is there one place they can go to reach you to be inspired?
Yeah, they can go to my website, jmmspeaking.com. I'm on Facebook as well and Twitter. I work with a lot of different, organizations and stuff. ICBC being one is they're funding this whole tour on the island, as well as the North Central Coast. I volunteer with the Firefighter Burn Fund. They support me in what I do as well. I work for CRA.
That's the taxing thing. I had to ask about that.
That's okay. We're all good people.
I don't think my name's on his list.
When you cut us, do we not bleed?
John.
Anyways, so, I'm here and there and everywhere, so.
Thank you for your time today. We're going to throw things over now to our very own island chef. Here is Michael Williams. That is it for this edition of The Daily. It is graduation season. Many teens are looking to celebrate as they reach this big milestone in their life. While the numbers of teens who are dying because of car crashes are declining, the fact remains that car crashes are the #1 of unintentional death for people between the ages of 13 and 25. Thanks for watching The Daily on Shaw TV. I'm Katebergen. We'll see you next time.